Hey guys, welcome to Temple of Sunshine on YouTube and templeofsunshine.com. I'm really excited to speak to you today, and I've got 5 things today that I truly believe that when I cut out or when I changed a little bit, they truly transformed my life. Before we get into this video, I'm just going to give you a really tiny intro into what my life really used to be like about 2-3 years ago. I was known as a very miserable person, and I was actually out to dinner with my friend the other day, and she told me that I used to be miserable to be around because I was so miserable. And today I have a business and a whole YouTube channel dedicated to teaching people on how to be more positive, to manifest their dream life, to teach them about Taoism, affirmations, the law of attraction. So it took a lot of work to get where I am today mentally, but these 5 simple steps, if you cut them out, they will make a drastic change. And these are the sort of things that I worked on initially when I really wanted to change my mindset, or wanted to become happier, and I decided that I'm sick of feeling unhappy and miserable every day. I want to change my life. These are the sort of 5 things that I worked on, and they immediately made a change. I promise you, it is immediate. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so the first one, I think a lot of us who don't mean to be miserable, don't mean to be a bad person, actually end up doing, but we end up actually harming ourselves more because we don't put ourselves first. And that is number 1, we don't put ourselves first. And this is causing you to be really unhappy because you're not giving yourself the time, effort and energy that you need. So you'll know a lot of us sort of manifesting YouTubers and gurus like to say that if you're trying to manifest love, you need to love yourself first, and you need to give yourself all like the great things that a partner would give you, so time, effort, just affection, and you need to give that to yourself before you manifest love, because then you're sort of sending out signals to the universe that you're worthy of this or whatever. So what I'm trying to say is you need to give yourself attention first if you want to have a happy life, because when you're feeling burnt out, when you're putting too much effort into work or other people or your relationships in life, whether that's your family or your friends or your partner, whatever, you need to give yourself time, love, care. And this literally means, when you're feeling burnt out, stopping and saying, no, I deserve a break. I know obviously toxic hustle culture and work hard, play hard culture has us thinking that, we got to work ourselves to death to be successful. And a lot of work does make you successful. Don't get me wrong, like it probably does work, but you need to put yourself first. I understand with someone as a business myself that we really want to make things succeed, but it cannot be before the health or my happiness, because if I'm not healthy or happy, then how am I going to even get to work and start working and, make this business a success if I can't, function and feel good, then I won't be working properly. So really taking care of yourself, not putting yourself first, is definitely what's keeping you unhappy. This could be saying yes when you want to say no to a proposition or an outing or something. This could simply be invalidating your feelings because someone else told you that your feelings were silly. This could mean simply taking a day off once a week just to self-care and do nothing, be unproductive. This could mean so many things for you, and I'm sure that this tip has definitely resonated to you in your own way. So I will let you figure out how to take care of yourself better, but there's lots of videos on this channel for that. Let's move on to tip 2. Tip 2 you've probably heard time and time again, and I actually have a video on this, so this is sort of reiterating what I've spoken about there, but I'm going to come at it with a different angle today. What's keeping you unhappy is not being grateful for the circumstances you have in life today. Forget manifesting, forget law of attraction. If that is all new to you and you're new to this channel, then you need to understand that being thankful for what you have today, regardless of how terrible it is your key to happiness, because we cannot change exactly this moment right this second, right? We can change our future by taking steps towards it, but right now what's manifested, what's happened, we can't change right this second. So what we can do is accept what we have and find a positive in it. We can be thankful for simply what we have today, even if it's not ideal. So maybe you live somewhere that you really hate, maybe there's a lot of problems with it, or maybe you just really hate your life, maybe you hate your current physique, your appearance. You have to start being thankful for it today. Respect what your body does. Often when I sort of get in negative body image, I just be thankful that I have a healthy working body with a working immunity that keeps me going, that allows me to work, allows me to read, allows me to think, to taste yummy foods. If I'm annoyed about, let's say you're annoyed about the job that you're in, just be thankful that you have a job in coronavirus. But of course, I'm sure many people have told you that. But also just being thankful for the situation you're in, because you're learning things even when you're having a bad time. So for example, if you try something out and you don't like it, like a job or an activity or a hobby or an outing, you've learnt that you don't like that, and that in itself is a positive because you've learnt something from that negative. And with every negative in life, Napoleon Hill, all the sort of great authors and gurus over the times and ages have always told us that in a negative there is always a positive or an opportunity. There is a seed of opportunity. So if you can, try and find that seed of opportunity, but if you can't, then what I suggest is you start to be thankful for the situation you're in today, even if you don't like it. When I'm in a negative situation, I like to say I'm thankful for this situation because, and I force myself to fill in that blank, because forcing myself to fill in that blank pushes me to start thinking more positively. Another thing you really need to start doing is getting up every day and saying thank you for at least 3 things. Even if you can't think of anything, just be silly and say, I'm thankful for coffee, I'm thankful for my warm bed, and I'm thankful for the sunlight peeking through my curtains. Like, it does not always have to be, God, I'm thankful, so thankful for my amazing life, my amazing career, my amazing partner. Like, it might not always be that case. So start small, and then trust me, you'll find more and more things to be thankful for. You'll become more happier as a result of just appreciating what you have today. Okay, so number 3, and we all do this, we all do it, we're all victim of this, is complaining. Now, it's very hard to give up complaining. In fact, I've tried in the past many times, and I've just said to myself, I'm going to stop complaining. I'm just simply going to stop complaining. Now, that's not possible, and it's very difficult to just stop complaining, but I have seen that the most unhappy people in life complain about absolutely every situation there could possibly be. They think every situation in their life is for an external reason. So this complaining thing is often that, you know, my problems are caused by things that are external. So they'll say, it's the government's problem that I live my life this way. It's my parents and their upbringing they gave me, or the fact that they weren't rich growing up that I have all these problems today. Or it's the weather's problem today that I'm having an awful day. Weather's fault. You know, it's the fault of my friends for teasing me while growing up, and that's why I'm so blah, 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 like insecure today. And you need to stop complaining. If the weather is terrible, complaining about it isn't going to change it. So you just need to accept it and just take it as it is. Complaining is not going to make you a happy person, and I'm sure you know that. I probably don't even need to expand on this point. But complaining is thinking one negative thought and expressing it, and through the law of attraction, we're going to get more and more negative thoughts, more and more negative thoughts. When you think negative thoughts, you attract more negative thoughts. That is simply the law of attraction at work. That's why if you think good thoughts, like in my previous point, if you're thankful for what you have today, you're going to bring in more good. You're going to keep attracting and attracting more good stuff. Exactly why you're feeling negative today. Because you're attracting more and more negativity with your negative thoughts. If you're a complainer, you need to fix this. This is one of the things out of everything in this video you need to go ahead and fix. You need to go work out, how can I stop complaining so much? Now for me, it just came naturally as I started to be more thankful for things, but of course guys, I still complain. If I'm in traffic, I complain. I'm complaining all the time about different things, but this time it's much more trivial usually than it is complaining about my life. I'm very thankful for my life, and being thankful, so the last point, has really helped mitigate all this complaining. However, in the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra, he teaches us to practice non-judgment. He says every morning when you wake up, make a commitment to practice non-judgment that day. And non-judgment simply is to not judge any situation as good or bad. So let's say you end up in a long queue, you end up in traffic. I'm going to talk about everyday mundane things, or the weather's terrible. Or I don't know, you get splashed by a massive puddle of water while you're on the way out. Do not immediately be like, oh, this is a terrible thing that's happened, I'm really annoyed. Or if something really amazing happens, obviously be happy about it, but don't, you know, practice non-judgment in the way that nothing is good or bad. Everything is exactly how it's supposed to be. Almost turning your opinion to one of a neutral position. Be really neutral. You know, let's say you're having a tough day. You drop your keys at your front door, or you record a video but you weren't recording the whole time. Practice non-judgment. Learn to just be like, okay, this has happened, and how can I rectify it? Or how can I move on with my day? You do not need to then stew and be like, oh, this is so ridiculous, I am so stupid, I can't believe it, blah, blah, blah. You know, you just need to move on. Practice non-judgment, and that's really helped me stop complaining so much. It's neither good, it's neither bad. I'm getting on with my life. And that actually leads me very nicely to my next point, which is simply you are not affirming the positives well enough in your life. You need to learn to do your affirmations. As someone who has a business selling affirmations cards, I know you're expecting me to say this, okay? But my point is, you need to do your affirmations because they will change your aspect on life. Just like I've told you, you know, 2 really key things to being happy is A, not complaining, and B, you know, being more thankful. We can now shift our perspective to affirming things we do want. So, you know, I've sort of been riddled with sort of superstitions growing up. I've been very just careful about my thoughts. I've always been really scared about what things might happen if I just think about them. And you know what? It's called essentially anxiety. It really is anxiety when you're constantly thinking of situations that are going to happen, that are going to be terrible in your life. 9 times out of 10, they don't even happen, right? They don't happen. But these anxious thoughts really do take me over sometimes. They really do plunge me into a massive panic. And it still happens now. Much less than it used to be 2-3 years ago. Like I said to you guys, I was a miserable person. But much less now, but it still happens. What I do when this happens, and I ensure you that this is really what has kept me happy in life. I would not create a whole business around affirmations and create the affirmations cards if I didn't believe in the power of affirmations to make you happy, to change your life. Affirmations, guys, they're the one thing that when you're feeling really anxious, or if you're worried about a superstition, or if someone tells you that you can't achieve your goals or dreams, or you can't manifest what you want, they're the one thing that's going to keep you going. If you keep affirming to yourself every single day that things are amazing, things work out for me, everything works out, best case scenario, miracles happen to me. They not only happen, but they keep your mood going. They keep your mood up. Because let's say I'm starting to spiral into an anxious thought. Let's say I'm like, you're going to be a failure. You're not going to amount to anything. As soon as I stop my track of thoughts going negatively in a downward spiral and I say, hang on, I already have what it takes to be successful. I am happy, I'm confident, I'm calm. These are all things that in my affirmations cards, guys, by the way, link in description. As soon as I say these things to myself, as soon as I do my affirmation card deck, as soon as I remind myself of a positive affirmation, or I affirm the positive in the situation that I want, let's say I've got an argument with someone, I affirm to myself, this is solved, we've made up, everything's okay. Like, that's what I think in my head. It happens, but also it keeps my hopes up, it keeps my mood up, and it keeps my vibration up. And that is essentially your happiness, right? Vibration, guys, I tell you all the time, it's a fancy word for your mood. It's the fancy word for how you're feeling. Keeping that up, high energy and good, is what you should be focusing on every day, 24/7. So do your affirmations extra in a situation where you feel negative or uncomfortable, and watch how your life changes. Anyway, last point, number 5, is stop speaking about people behind their back, or having a lot of opinions about other people, or just in general, let's name the term bitching. So stop bitching. We all love gossip, right? Let's not kid ourselves. We are human beings. We like to know what's going on in other people's lives. We are nosy and we like to gossip. It happens. And whether that's celeb gossip, like, oh my gosh, did you hear what, you know, Ariana Grande is doing these days or whatever, or whether it's about people that you know, you need to scale it back a lot. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a saint. I haven't spoken about other people in a gazillion years and only good things come out my mouth. I am aspiring to be that person I've just described, and I'm working very hard towards it, and I'm so much better than I used to be. But I have really learned that gossiping is a terrible thing, because not only does it keep your vibration low, not only do you feel really bad about it after you've done it, or not only is it like sort of an instant pleasure, like you might feel like bitching with a friend about someone else, and it might feel like sort of good, or like slightly disgustingly good in the moment, but as soon as you've done it, you're like, don't really feel good talking about other people. And if you don't feel that way, I'm going to tell you now that it's not going to get you ahead. Talking about other people is wrong for so many reasons. 1, it wastes your time. 2, it exudes and stinks of jealousy. If not jealousy, then just hatredness. If that's a word, hatefulness. You know, it's not good energies. You want to be a good energy person to be happy, because when your energies are calm, clean and good, you don't even feel the need to gossip about other people. But to get to that stage, you're going to have to remove these negative habits. And speaking about other people, doesn't actually make you, like, you know, bitching about someone else's wealth isn't going to make you richer. Bitching about someone else's success or lack of it isn't going to make you more successful. You know, everything has to be in your own time and in your own lane. You cannot compare your success to someone else's. So that is simply what this final point is. Rather than thinking about what other people are doing in their lives, you should definitely just be focusing on your own sort of lane, staying in it, working towards it, doing your affirmations, thinking positive thoughts and being thankful. And that is definitely the sort of summary of everything we've spoken about today. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I'll speak to you next time. Bye.